Today marks a year since the vigil for Sarah Everard, murdered by a serving Metropolitan Police officer, which was held, of course, on Clapham Common. Now, with reports of sexual harassment on public transport in the capital on the rise and the London Assembly calling on the government to legislate to make sexual harassment a crime, our reporter Jessica Ure has more.
Georgie was taking the tube to a work event last October when she says she was attacked.
I looked up and there was a man opposite me who started to grab at my ankles and my feet. I shouted at him to stop, and then he got his phone out and started taking pictures of me, pictures of my legs, pictures of my feet.
She says she tried to move away, but he kept touching and following her.
He then started to grab at me again, and that is when the man, Diego, stepped in and helped me and said, "We need to get you off the tube," and sort of stood in between me and the man. And it took 2 stops on the tube for this one man to step in and offer me help.
They approached TfL staff at the next station.
And that's when I explained what happened. Diego was there and said, "The man is still there, you know, we should go and get him. She's just been sexually assaulted and sexually harassed on the tube, I've witnessed it all." And the TfL guard just handed me a leaflet. It felt like they'd have been more than happy for me to walk out of the tube knowing that this man was following me, or go back down to the tube where this man was waiting for me.
We spoke to TfL about the incident.
Do you think that's the correct response from TfL staff?
We obviously need to do better. We didn't get it right in that incident. You know, Georgie's experience, it should never have happened to her, and she shouldn't have experienced the issues that she did in trying to report it. So we are rolling out training to all of our customer-facing frontline staff. It's a huge undertaking with thousands of transport staff, but it's something that we're committed to do.
They also flagged new posters appearing across the network.
We're aiming to send a clear, strong message to offenders that this behaviour is harmful, it's wrong, and it's not tolerated on our network. We're also asking people who may be a victim or they may see or observe this to come forward and report it.
New research on the reporting of sexual harassment on public transport is stark. Over 80% of YouGov respondents who said they experienced sexual harassment did not report it to police. This comes as figures for reported incidents have already increased in London by 61%. Meanwhile, there continues to be mounting pressure to make sexual harassment a specific crime, a call now echoed by the London Assembly.
I mean, the London Assembly supporting the campaign was massive, and seeing that kind of regional support and local support for what we're doing is actually really, really important and really impactful, because what we're talking about isn't just legal change, we're talking about a kind of whole society approach to creating change. We know that the public want it, we know that the Law Commission want it, and our question is just, why hasn't it happened yet? 180,000 people wrote into the government Violence Against Women and Girls survey, and they shared their deep experiences of trauma and sexual violence, and they're not being listened to. And I think that you know, that kind of lack of action is starting to become really frustrating. I think there's no excuse anymore. You know, we've got the legal backing, we've got the public support. What more does government need?
TfL say they support making sexual harassment a crime, as it would give transport police more powers when dealing with perpetrators.
I think the leaflets are good and the signs are great, but really the laws need to change so that offenders are a bit more afraid of you know, what the consequences could be. Because in my case, because TfL didn't act fast on my situation, the man who harassed me went on to offend another woman a week later.